And action. I can't hear you. You can hear me, bud.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? Of course. Everything's working fine. Until then, I think it's you, buddy. I think it's you, Trey. Are you there?
I'm here now, buddy. Yeah,
Well,
me
we better
muted.
get into this before we lose it. But I was going to ask where you're at and, what ramp you went and fished today. But I'm sure you don't want to give up the juice.
I have a feeling you already know.
I don't. But I'd tell everybody if I did.
I actually went to Truman today just to see if it kind of, figure out something on Truman, and hopefully I can replicate it here.
That is not true. Very not true. He's lying to you guys.
I'm actually sitting out. I'm actually sitting outside of Culver's right here downtown Truman. So Warsaw. Just got a Culver's.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Hey, well, I'm gonna let you introduce these gentlemen. I know you've talked to them more than I have. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, we have a great show tonight. Just two legends, two locals. Andy Caps, you guys have heard of the Angry Pirate Tournament. Tournament director there, but just a longtime native of Lake the Ozarks, born and raised, just a grab eye, got grab eye running in his blood. And then the flat bottom legend, Randy Domain. And just super excited about this.
Well, let's get them in here. Let's get after it. Start asking questions. Start asking them where we catch fish at and go from there.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Evening, everybody.
Thanks for coming. We know you guys are in high demand. I think you guys got podcasts set up all year long.
Got to play the game, brother. Got to play the game. If you can't catch fish, you better be being seen.
I think some of my favorite things with you, Andy, is watching you on the boat when you guys do that, where they play golf and everything, where you're on the boat with that. That's a great time to watch you guys. And he's the same guy that does the Big Bass Bash. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Big Al McCullough. He's an owner of the MPFL and the MC for AIA and the Big Bass Bash. And he's about 12 years old mentally. So after about 12 hours with him, you're ready to kill him. And I'm not trying to go back to prison. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, bro. I feel that. We're done with Morgan County.
Yeah, we are.
So, yeah.
Let's
Randy, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having us on. Looking forward to visiting and talking a little bit of fishing here.
Jonathan, can you hear me? Am I just not hearing him?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear him as well. I think it's your phone, but I think you don't have very good service.
Yeah, Andy, Randy, he's in Ivy Bend. Everybody knows he's in Ivy Bend. That's why you can't hear him.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, it's you. It's you. Go get some Wi-Fi, buddy.
No, I'm in Warsaw.
Go get some Starlink on that car, on that kayak.
I'm in Warsaw. Buddy.
Andy, man, let's start off with you, buddy. Tell us about yourself and kind of your background, man.
I'm the Angry Pirate. I grew up. I lived in Stover and Versailles and Gravois my whole life. I went off to the Marine Corps and always fished. I've always fished, and then I worked the penitentiary for about 25 years, and I retired, and I've been fishing a lot ever since the day I walked out of that place. And we've hatched out the Angry Pirate Tuesday Tournament Series, which has been super successful, way more than I ever hoped it would become. But and I travel around fishing the Solo Pro, AIA, Big Bass Bash, and, follow fishing basically because I don't have anything else to do but be a fish junkie. I mean, and my phrase is no bad days. And how can you have bad days when all you do is fish all the time?
Jonathan, I can't hear you, bud. Can you guys hear me? Just not Jonathan.
I can't hear Jonathan at all.
Yeah, I can't either. I can hear you okay though.
Jonathan, if you can hear us, try to get out of here and get back in. So yeah, I guess if we can hear each other, I feel like what you've done with the Angry Pirate tournament is you've kind of seen what you like about tournaments, what you don't like about tournaments, and you kind of created that. And you took every little bits of everything and created that right there.
Right. It's a whole vibe. It's not a tournament. I mean, yeah, I pay it all back, and and I pay the top three. I don't pay a bunch of places. We usually have a little fellowship afterwards. I mean, we always do, and I mean, it's so cool the people that you're standing next to and talking fishing to. I think that's really how come it's taken off the way it has. But it's not for everybody. We don't do a bunch of dumbass rules. You have to have a little bit of wherewithal to yourself to be able to do the right thing even when ain't nobody looking. And I've been lucky to be able to force that with the people who fish my derbies, because it's not my money, it's their money. And it's just, I don't think we've ever run anybody off, but we've had several not ever come back.
Okay. And yeah, Randy, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Podcasts are fun.
Aren't they though? I can hear
We
you
are
just
just
fine,
not having
Andrew, but I
great
lost
reception here. I
both
think
of
me
these
and you.
guys now.
They want you to introduce yourself, Randy.
Okay. Yeah, I lost you, Trey. But anyway, yeah, I'm Randy Dolman. I'm retired from MDC. I was 28 years in the law enforcement branch. And actually, I was assigned as a conservation agent to Camden County
Andy, can you hear
from
me?
2000 to about 2004 or so. So I spent a lot of my time
Yes.
on the Niagara Arm. I used to live there we had a little house and a couple acres there right on the upper Niagara Arm, right before it turns to the river. So yeah, and I've fished my whole life. I mean, that's what got me my career in conservation, that love for the outdoors. Um, I kind of quit fishing tournaments when my kids were born, and until they kind of graduated, I had enough on my plate being an agent and taking care of two kids and trying to be a good husband and do good at my job. But once they grew up and kind of got old enough to drive and kind of be on their own, I kind of got back into it. And so for the last probably 5 years, 6 years, I've got back into tournament fishing. I love Lake of the Ozarks. And as you guys mentioned, I fished out of my old 18-foot aluminum flat bottom, my 10 rig for several years until I upgraded to a glass boat here this past year. But yeah, I fished out of my jet boat, and it got me in places where others couldn't. And sometimes that was very helpful, and sometimes it was very unhelpful, especially when the wind blew or the weather got bad. But yeah, I've loved fishing, and Lake of the Ozarks has been good to me more often than not. And yeah, happy to talk fishing with you guys. And I fished the Angry Pirates with Chris Dickherber as well when we can fish together. And those are great events that Andrew puts on, and good times, some great anglers. I mean, you better have your A game, because them boys don't play around. But it's just a nice, relaxing, enjoyable circuit to fish on a Tuesday. There's usually a good turnout, not a lot of high pressure, a lot of fun, but you better be able to catch them, because them boys aren't going to catch any slack.
That's awesome. Can you guys hear me now? Just making sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, good. Well, Andy, I know you know some kids coming
Andrew,
home.
I can hear you, but I can't hear anybody else now.
I love podcasts, man. They are fun.
Andrew, can you hear me?
I can't.
Sometimes I can hear all of you, and
Sometimes.
then sometimes it's that awkward silence. Like,
Well,
hello
then
in there.
let's start
I
off.
can see them guys, but I can't hear them.
Well, man, tell us about Lake of the Ozarks. What do you think's going on? What should we expect this weekend?
There need to be a lot of editing on this one, I'm afraid.
So, what's going on Lake of the Ozarks is they will not stop messing with the lake level. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Those fish want to go back. They want to go back there because it's starting to warm up. The days are getting longer. The weather's more stable-y, not those hellacious cold fronts like we just went through the last 24 hours. But the problem is where they want to go, there's no water. And that's hurting a lot of anglers because you all your juices up there laying on the bank. And you have to have that second tier juice, which most of us do not have a bunch of. And I think, like it hurt me last weekend. There's guys that's got it figured out that are doing it, but I think the average guys, and the problem is you go back there and they might be there, but they might not. But it wastes a lot of time trying to put the puzzle together.
What do you what do you recommend guys chase or hunt after this weekend?
I would find someplace where there's a ditch on a spawning flat going back into where they want to spawn. And then I would work that. I would take my time, whatever the conditions. If it's high blue bird, you're going to have to slow down. If it's high pressure or low pressure, you can speed up a little bit, move some crankbaits, spinner baits. I mean, honestly, you have got to do it all, and that's what makes it so difficult. When you land on them, though, it makes you look really good. But when you just cast and cast and cast like you can, I always say one day you catch them on a spinner bait and you put your jerk bait away, and then the next day you gotta fish the jerk bait because they won't hit the spinner bait. And that's kind of where we're at right now. But it's fixing to pop.
Yeah, it seems like they should be moving up and getting ready to go and feeding up hard right now. And definitely seems like with this weather, it's been, back and forth for them.
Right. I actually fished some really warm water back in the middle of February. I had some 55-degree water found, and then, of course, it got cold again, and I went back to that water because it was warmer than everything else, and that water had cooled back off. It was 38 degrees, so I'd never really seen it warm up and cool back off before, but it sure did.
Wow. How's
today
tournaments been?
Today I was seeing a water
Trey.
temp of 50. Today I was seeing a water temp of 57. That's probably the highest that I got.
Right.
And then it went from 57 to 52 pretty quick. It's kind of weird.
Right. And last week it was 48 and 55. I mean, it's that low end, that cold side is coming up, and that's the deal. But we need some water in the lake, honestly. All the good stuff is sitting up there on the bank.
And the other thing is, guys, and for people out there for new that's launching this week, is guys, be careful with the ramps because you guys will, especially you guys with little jet ski trailers, you guys that'll look like that ramp is good and you will go off of it. And the other thing, that water's so far down that it's so slick that if you get your back tires on there, I mean, I've fished, I've swam a lot as a kid there in the gravelways, and I've seen boats, I've seen trucks go in the water because of getting their back tires too far down that ramp. So Randy is laughing. Maybe he'd done that before.
Yeah,
but
we've seen Randy do it last Angry Pirate.
Yeah, they always told me the water would stop your truck when it hit it. Chris and I tested that out. It does, but not until your tailpipe goes underwater.
I got to watch them with both of them had the damnedest looks on their faces as they was flying down the ramp backwards out of control. I died.
Yeah, it's funny when you're watching. It ain't as funny when you're.
So how did you get it? So did it go all the way in the water?
Oh
yeah.
The tailpipe was gurgling, and I hadn't unhooked the boat trailer yet, or the boat yet. And so when Chris finally stopped and got big bug-eyed out of the deal, I was able to get up the front of the boat, unhook the trailer, or unhook the boat, and get it off there. And he was able to kind of slide over outside of the ice tracks and get it pulled back out. But we slid probably halfway down that son of a gun, and we didn't stop until the back tires were in the water and the tailgate was gurgling. Or tailpipe was gurgling. That's when we finally stopped. And Andrew's up there on the boat ramp laughing his ass off.
I was telling Chris, it'll stop when it hits the water. Just keep it going straight because it has a bad habit of jackknifing when you're sliding like that, dragging brakes. But it's an unnatural act to let just fly down the ramp backwards. It's an unnatural act.
Yeah. We survived it, though, and ended up having a pretty good day. So
Yeah.
it's all good, but it was a little concerning for a while.
So I'm
Randy,
kind of unsure
what's your
covered.
Randy? What's the lake looking like to you? What are you seeing out there?
I am seeing, last time I was out, it was right before that big cold snap hit. And I'm seeing fish that are honestly still in the backs of the pockets. They kind of move in and out with the cold snaps, but a lot of the catchable fish that we're finding are in the backs still. And I'm sure now that it's warming up again, that bite will turn on again. And so when I fished the Toyota series last week, unfortunately, I kind of gave up on that. And I went out a little bit deeper, caught a few, but a lot of guys were in the backs of the pockets still. Even though it's a weird pattern for late winter, real early spring, there's catchable fish in the backs still. So they just get a lot of pressure back there. I mean, every pocket we hit during the Toyota series, there was 2 or 3 boats in and around it. And so
Right.
that's kind
Pressure.
of what we're seeing. And so before our next Angry Pirate on Tuesday, I'm going to try and get out at least one day this weekend, because I'm sure these 70, 75-degree days are only going to bring more fish up back there. So I think the biggest
We can
key is
go.
to
We can,
catch them behind other people.
Randy. We can go in the morning if you want. I'll
Well, I'd love to,
Yes.
fellas, but I'm actually
Yes.
heading to Salisbury. I've got to do a school program for some middle school kids up there wanting to talk about a career in the outdoors. So I've got a speaking deal tomorrow, but I'll cheer you guys on from up there.
Yeah,
And
Randy,
speaking of
please
kids,
take Trey out. Please take him out. That way we can get him out of here. We ain't got to worry about him.
so speaking of kids, Randy, can you talk a little bit about, maybe you covered this, I don't know, I cut out for a minute, but can you talk about, you got a shirt on that says St. Jude, and for everybody that's listening right now, I really encourage you to listen. And we get guests on here, and these, this is a really good cause, and for you guys out there that just feel like giving, Randy, take it away.
I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, so our traveling buddy Nalon Jones sent our group, and Andrew's a part of that, our traveling house group, a link to a St. Jude's benefit tournament on Table Rock on May 9th. And it's a fundraising event for St. Jude's Children's Hospitals. And the $250 entry fee to fish it on May 9th, but your team has to raise $500 in order to get entered into the tournament. And so they have a fundraising page that they have available for folks that want to fish this tournament, where you can donate, and all that money, 100% goes to cancer research for kids. It's a great program. My wife and I, back when I used to run and she used to run, we used to do the St. Jude's half marathon and the down in Memphis. And it's a great event for a great cause. And I signed up last night. My oldest boy, Sam, is going to fish it with me. Sam's visually impaired. He was born premature, and he spent 6 months in the NICU after he was born in 2001. So we weren't quite tied to St. Jude's, but we certainly have a personal experience, a personal relationship with what St. Jude's provides. The free housing and meals and transportation for families, kids are going through cancer treatment and that sort of thing. Have lived something very similar to that with Sam in the NICU for 6 months. We can relate. And so it is important to us. And so Sam and I are going to fish this tournament and have a good time and support a great cause. And the fundraising, I'll send you guys a link. Maybe we can put it at the bottom of the podcast on the recording or something, where you can donate, to a great cause. And I'm even going to do something on my YouTube channel, Randy Doman, Ozark Waters, where I'll pick a winner from the $25 at least donations, and we'll spend a day on the Osage River catching big spotted bass and having a blast. It's kind of a free guide trip for a winner out of the drawings of whoever donates at least $25 to the cause. So it's a great event for a great cause. I'm very happy to be part of it.
Well, I will say on behalf, and I'll kick it off for you guys that are listening. So on behalf of Vitality Sport and Spine and Recovery Outdoors and MoYak, I'll donate 50 to that to kick that off. And yeah, so
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yep. All that money
Yeah,
goes.
the Angry Pirate's going to throw 100 at you too, Randy.
I appreciate that. You
Sheesh.
guys are awesome. Yep. And like I say, I'm using. I don't make a lot off the YouTube channel at all, but whatever I make in the months of March and April, I'm donating that right back to it as well. So I'm putting some skin in the game as well. So appreciate that, guys. I know I know the families that benefit from that are very, very grateful. Just as I.
Awesome. Awesome. So,
Very awesome.
historically, guys, and maybe you covered this, Jonathan, but you gave us some good advice, especially talking about the back of pockets and things like that. But historically, how do these river arms change, especially this time of year? Where do you typically see? I'm not asking for specific spots, but if you were just going to give a northwest, southeast location of the lake, uh, typically when you're in that January to April, what's the hot area?
Andrew, you want this one? Or you want me to take it?
Well, I mean, I'll start out. I think it starts at the dam where you'll catch those early spring fish kind of lurking around, and it slowly slides up the river. And it'll do it like one day it'll be nothing, and the next day it'll be on, and then it just keeps going up the river. You know, your spawning flats, your little pockets, your channel bends. You know, I've fought my whole life with a date. This date they do that, you know, and they don't. They do what they want to do, you know, and there's a lot of factors to it.
Trey told me that you'd have all the keys for Saturday, and I guess he didn't ask you about what date it was.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, if you look at my tournament standings from last Saturday, I believe I was 147th out of 175. So I don't even know why I'm on here, to be honest.
Don't let him kid you guys. Andrew knows exactly what the hell he's doing. It just doesn't always work at the times.
Andy, you're the working man's hero, buddy.
Yeah.
You know that. It's no.
I look back at all my notes and you know my time hopping every year on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'll go to my juice, which is the Grab Boys, and I'll smash them. And then that Saturday it'll be Anglers in Action, and I'll run to that same stuff. I do it every year, and can't buy a strike. And you think I know what I'm doing? I gotta quit doing that. I can't.
So if you could pick one bait to fish on Lake of the Ozarks, your one bait all year long, Randy and Andy, what's that one bait you're going to pick up that you got to catch 5 fish with?
Ooh. You
You only take one.
I'm gonna flip a jig, dude.
All right.
Did you ask what date?
What bait?
Nope.
What one bait?
One bait.
5 fish.
One bait. Oh, one bait. Okay. You know, Gail, Julian, and I had this conversation as well, and I think Andrew and I are on the same page. If I had one bait where I had to catch some fish on, it'd be a jewel peewee jig, hands down. Jewel peewee jig, hands down, that little micro jig, a finesse jig, and actually this time of year, I'd run up the river with that son of a gun if I had to. If that's the only thing I could fish, I'd run up the river with that jig until I found some active fish.
We got some action here too. Strike Forward, Jay Beppa said he's donating. I think it's $50, Randy. So,
Right on.
strike. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate
Jay's good people.
He is good people, and he makes an incredible product. That cappuccino,
Yes,
sometimes I want to drink it.
Yeah, I'm not that bad.
But I tell you
Yes.
what, I experienced this when I was working as an agent, and even more so now that I'm retired. The fishing community, Dan, that's a good bunch of people. You know it? I mean, good Lord, if you need anything, they come a running. So I really appreciate it. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah.
But back to your river discussion.
Randy, Trey.
I'll add to what Andrew said. It's been my experience on the rivers. Typically, they're the first to warm up when it gets nice like this. The backs of the Gravois, the backs of the Glaze, the upper Nianguas, they'll usually warm up quicker as compared to the main lake down by the dam, which can be great, but it also kind of like what Andrew experienced, they can be really finicky too.
Yep.
It'll cool down pretty quick when we get a cold snap. But for you guys and your kayak fishing, I dang sure this time of year would get as far up a river as I could and find a deeper hole and see if I
Right.
can find some fish that are less
Yep.
pressure. That's a big advantage you guys have over all of us in the bigger boats.
100%.
We'll have guys spread off all over this lake. It's wild. I know that Lake the Ozarks is one of those tricky ones where getting your kayak launched, it's a little bit, not as hard as putting a bass boat in, but it's kind of tough finding some public access and whatnot. But
Right.
it is, it's wild. I can't imagine what Josh would say, because he gets our GPS location whenever we send a photo, but he probably sees guys all over the place on this lake. I know guys a lot of time, they like to launch up near Warsaw, below the dam and whatnot, and fish that water up there. So we'll see guys all over the place, and I'm sure one guy might find one of them holes as well.
Well, I think the beauty of this time of year is you can probably fish whatever technique you want too. If you want to fish shallow water, power fishing, jigs and
Right.
spinner baits and crankbaits and square bills, find that dirty water and go to town. If you want to fish
100%.
jerk baits and rock crawlers and A-rigs, you can probably find that cleaner, colder water and do the same there. It's kind of whatever you prefer.
Yeah, if you don't get bit off that stick up, you need to put a jig down there just to keep them honest.
Yeah. Good stuff right there. Absolutely good stuff. Oh man. Trey, what else you got for these guys, man?
And I don't got much more without giving up too much. I don't got much more. I think that if you guys were gonna give kayakers any advice coming from the boat world, because we know we're two different sides, right? And there's always that. There's a kayaker, there's a bass boat, stuff like that, and being able to come together and meet in the middle and just know that we're out there for one reason, and that's to catch fish.
Right.
Like what is one thing on the boater side? Have you guys noticed any issues that you've had with kayakers? And then, yeah, if there's a part of the lake that you would advise us to be careful, so maybe we have new guys that are launching this weekend, and boat traffic that you guys see, it's going to be nice on Saturday. So yeah, kind of them two questions. You got any beef with the kayakers, Andy?
No, I don't. And me and Randy both are shallow howls. We got great big giant kayaks in those aluminum boats. And we're back there with them. That's the one thing that irks me. And I mean, it's so petty. The places I used to catch them, I got kayak guys floating around in now. So, and that's progress, man. I mean, and I thought about it one day. I'm getting old, man, and I kind of like to see these youngsters or people finding the juice so it doesn't die when I die.
Yeah. Andy, just come on to the dark side, buddy.
We're gonna get you in a car,
dude. They were gonna do a live feed to watch me get in and out of a kayak when I was with Tackle Works, because half the guys on there are kayak guys, and I found a kayak floating in the lake, and I was like, I'm in the game, boys, and they were immediately on me like, we bet you can't get in and out of it.
Oh gosh. And
so I set it on the ground, and they were right. I couldn't get on it on the backyard. I can't imagine water underneath of it.
Hey, come, Andy, come see me in Camdenton, man. I'll get you squared away. You'll be sitting really nice, I promise.
I will, man. I mean, who knows? Maybe I do like to be on the rivers a lot, and so I did buy a legit worthless kayak just to get on the river. I thought I was somebody, but it's a piece of junk. I tip it over every time I go just to make sure it still tips over.
Andrew, having some video footage of you fishing out of a kayak would get you about 20,000 followers on your AP page.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it, man, because when you catch a drum, it's about all I can handle inside, man. It tears me up.
Yeah. I will say this about you kayak fishermen. One, mad respect, because I've tried it probably twice in my lifetime. One time was on the upper Mississippi River in Minnesota. Coming back from a conference, I took a couple of days off and did a little kayak trip on the upper Mississippi. And that son of a gun was spinning around like a kite in there. And I was trying to catch a big smallmouth, and I'm fighting that kayak and trying to coordinate it with cluster from the get-go. So I have mad respect for you guys that fish out of those. And two, I have zero beefs either. The only thing I have, and through no fault of your own, is you guys broke my heart on a solo pro championship on Palm de Terre back in September 2 or 3 years ago. And my game plan was to take my jet all the way up the Palmy River and get away from the rest of these guys. Playing them. You guys had a damn championship up there, and there were probably 50 kayaks up there with me. I'm like, son of a. It's through no fault of
half the field.
Of all the days.
It was one up there, yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Half the
there
field
wasn't
would be
a
up there.
stump or a brush pile that didn't have a kayak on it.
That's funny.
Andy, Randy, if you guys ever get the chance, come see me in Camdenton at the Eco Fishing Shop. I work there, but we're also the title sponsor for MoYak. But I would absolutely love to take you guys out in some kayaks just one time and go fishing, get you in some skinny water. I think that would be a heck of a time.
Bet
that would be awesome. I still have my jet because I love those rivers. The Gasconade River, the Osage River, the Niagara River. I'm a smallmouth junkie at heart, guys. So you ain't got to twist my arm to get in a kayak and go fish a river somewhere.
And I think when you guys think about it, I think that when you think about going on a river float or stuff like that, you think of these, these little kind of. But I know you guys watch it. You guys are on social media enough that you're seeing these kayaks now. And to be able to go in there, Jonathan, looking at that XTR or looking at a big Old Town Autopilot, when you guys get in that, you're going to literally feel like you're kind of in a smaller bass boat. It's not, and you're going to be getting top speeds. I say top speeds, but 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. I know that isn't a lot, but I mean, it's a lot better than paddling.
My avid.
So definitely go check him out, dude.
It's such a fun way to fish too. I mean, it's such an intimate way to get involved with the fisheries. Get away from the crowds and you're closer to the water.
Back there.
Yeah, you just experience everything so much more vividly out of a kayak.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. I know Andy said you got to get off here, but I want one more thing from both of you guys. If you guys could give us, maybe that new guy out there or even that seasoned angler, if you can give us one piece of information about Lake of the Ozarks. Just one piece of information that's going to help somebody, maybe if they're having a bad morning, maybe if they're not catching any fish. What is one little thing that you could tell us about Lake of the Ozarks that could change our entire day?
If you're struggling, watch for the transition banks that go from chunk rock to pea gravel. They flatten out a little. They might be a little steep where they meet, and that usually will save your day if you can find anything like that.
Thanks, Andy.
My advice would be, if you're struggling in the morning, be patient, because this time of year, especially later in the afternoon, that afternoon bite turns on. And so you might go down a bank or hit the back of a pocket and just suck in the morning, and then all of a sudden at 1 o'clock they turn on. So one piece of advice is be in the good water in the afternoon bite, and then the other thing is downside. I'll even give up a little bit of juice here. A little Mega Bass 110 Junior. This is a Maka head. Downsize with something like that later in the afternoon in those pressured areas, and you'll improve your chances. I guarantee it.
Awesome.
Spinning. Good luck finding one of those Masa Juniors or whatever the hell that color of flying tomato. There's 2 of them, and I know where they both live.
Well, here's the Pro Blue. This one works too, guys. So
you got red hooks on that. He just showed some juice on that one.
He showed the juice. If you watch his YouTube videos, you'll see some more juice.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to hide it when you're recording. So
Right. You'll
I've been able
also
to hide
find
one
his love
crankbait
for.
that my buddy turned me on to. Everything else is pretty much out in the open.
You'll also find out about his love for drum if you watch his YouTubes.
I seen that one. You guys want to give a shout out to your spot? You guys want to give a shout out to your sponsors?
Go
Yeah, I
ahead,
mean,
Andrew.
I'm with Calco's Fishing, which is now Tackle Works. I've been with them for 10 years. Egger Rods in Versailles, Tony Egger. I've been with him for 10 years, and they've been great companies to work with. They let me do what I want to do, and they don't try to throttle me because sometimes I push the envelope of what you can get away with when you rep a sponsor. But being financially free enables me to act any way I want to act. I'm not counting pennies to fish these derbies.
Yep, I'll give a shout out to Jewel Bait Company, Gail Julian down there in Arkansas. Known him for a long time, and Jewel Baits has been a wonderful supporter. They make a great product, like these little underspins right here. Chris Dickherber has turned me on to this pattern here, and that's been catching a few lately. But Jewel Bait Company, Dave's Pizza and Wings, the best pizza in Lynn. Dang, that's good stuff. Mikey Hansen with Big Bag Outdoors. That's a new company that he's repping, and so I definitely support them and get support from them with some lures. And then 154 Marine up there in Perry, Missouri. Corey Kunkel and the Skeeter Yamaha team up there. He's where I decided to buy my new boat from, and he's been taking care of me. In fact, I was just up there yesterday getting some changes made there. So those are the folks that support me. I'm happy to support them. They're good people.
Man,
Hey,
thank you
Randy, make sure
guys.
and Randy, make sure and get a link over to Trey for donations and whatnot. We'll make sure and get it either on the podcast, the next one, or get it up on our website. And that way you guys can be a part of that and help out with that. As you know, the fishing community is probably the best when it comes to stuff like that. So we'd love to support that and get that out to you guys and help you guys out.
I appreciate that, guys. I'll send you a link in Messenger here as soon as we're done.
Awesome. Well, guys, seriously appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys making time and coming on here. This is great for all of our anglers. It may not be the juice, but it may be the right thing they're looking for. So really appreciate it. And you guys are more than welcome to come on here and talk about Lake of the Ozarks. We'll be back in the fall for the championship in October, early October. So maybe we'll get you guys back on here and, maybe get some more fishing reports and whatnot.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. It's a fun time. I hope you guys wreck them tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck. Tear them up. It should be a beautiful day.
Thanks, guys.
Trey, do you feel better about what they said? Do you feel worse? What are you thinking, buddy?
I mean, I don't know that they gave up too much. Kind of hold to the vest. Them, the two OGs right there. They weren't giving up too much. But they just being able to have two guys that just kind of breathe, eat, live bass fishing is really cool, and they're super passionate about the sport. So yeah, I feel good about this weekend, man. What's for me. Using the winter series to qualify, I'm already qualified for the 2027 All-American. I'm qualified for the state championship already. So I don't really have a lot of qualifying is kind of important to me. So I really don't have that hanging over my head. I haven't found any fish. I fished a little bit today. I'm not really practicing in the area that I plan on going to on Saturday. So I'm just trying to hit some other people's spots, seeing how that works out. But yeah, I will say this though. Whoever won the last prize, which was that buzzbait, that Brazalo Baits 501 jig, and also I believe the Crocodile Shaky Heads, send me a message because I forgot who you are, and just know that I'll have them for you at awards. I forgot who you were, bro.
It's messed up, man. Hey, so real quick, let's talk about Saturday. The award's gonna be at the Eco Fishing Shop. If you guys have been there before, you know that parking's gonna be tight. It's gonna be kind of a hectic kind of deal, especially. I think we're gonna hit 100 anglers, so it might be tough. If you have a trailer I would recommend either parking next door in K&R or down the street. There's a funeral home there. There's another parking lot down there on each side. I know that's kind of a walk. So if you have a trailer, kind of keep that in mind. Parking's going to be tight. If you have, your kayak in your truck, if you can, just make sure and back it up in some of those spots. That way we can keep a lot of that open. We've got the parking lot mainly cleared out, but it's really not big enough for all of us. So just keep that in mind when you're headed to awards. I know that Josh is going to pick up, if you guys ordered jerseys, he's going to pick those up tomorrow, I believe. If you want to pick it up this weekend, make sure and let him know. If you're not going to be able to pick it up this weekend, you need to get with him, and that way he can ship it out to you as well. So just kind of some housekeeping stuff there. Shop will be open from 9 to 5 tomorrow. So if you guys need anything, Trey called me today, and the first thing I said is, "What did you break, buddy?" Because I figured he broke something and needed something. So we'll be open tomorrow. I'll be there around noon, 1 o'clock. I'm going to try and go fishing in the morning for a little bit. But if you guys need anything there, just feel free to holler at us. Trey, is there anything that I'm missing?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Do not.
All right. So what's it going to take for Saturday?
I mean, based on Bass World today and that 25 pounds by Varner, I mean, if someone's on them, I would say low 90s. It'd be cool to start off, our first event with a 90. We didn't have any 90s last year. Say if I have to say a number, I'm going to say 90 and a quarter. That's
90
me.
and a quarter. I think the Bluebirds guys, the lack of wind, I think it's going to make fishing a little bit slow. I think it's going to make that jig head minnow bite real good. You know what I'm saying, Doug? Real good. So I'm saying 89 and 3/4, buddy. I don't think we're breaking that 90 yet.
All right. When I get that 95, I'll see you at Eagle at like 1. I'm just going to get off the water at 1. So.
Oh, buddy. Oh,
Make sure
I won't
I
be
got
there
parking.
yet, but you can be there at 1. Yeah.
You guys got to show up. The rumor is Josh got some food that you guys are not going to want to miss. He's going to start this one off with a banger, guys. So, yeah.
So Josh will be at the shop Friday by 2 p.m. So if you guys signed up for membership and all that stuff and you want to get your shirt early, you can come by the Eco Fishing Shop and grab that from him. I'm going to work on his kayak a little bit as well. So, but seriously, can't wait to kick off the 2026 season and look forward to it. Trey, anything else, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'll see you in the morning, Jonathan.
I doubt that. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Can't wait.